So today I'm tying up some stonefly patterns. It's spring and we're about ready to start hitting the Deschutes River here pretty soon. And with big salmon fly hatch will be coming up in the month of May. So stonefly nymphs will be crawling out, and it's a really good time to be fishing stonefly nymphs. So this is one of my favorite patterns for early season. This pattern is very effective for rainbow trout on the Deschutes River. I'm going to show you how to tie it. So we start with fulling mills. This is the size 10. This hook is excellent for this type of fly. I'm also using a tungsten bead. This is also fulling mills. This is a fairly large size. This is a 3/16. I like the copper, so I'm going to thread this on. When we're fishing the Deschutes in the spring, the Deschutes is a big river in central Oregon, and it gets a lot of runoff in the spring, so the flow can be pretty heavy. So getting your fly down is extremely important. So we use not only that tungsten bead, but I like to run some lead wire underbody in addition to the tungsten bead. That does a couple things for us. One, it ensures that we're getting the fly down, but it also helps give us a good profile for the stonefly. Stonefly is not a small bug. The black stone, we have two versions of stones on the Deschutes River. We have a black stone and we also have a golden stone. The black stones can live in the river for up to 3 years. So they get to be pretty good size. And I like to put a tail on these. The abdomen of the stonefly really moves and wiggles a lot in the water. So I use a black marabou, and I'm going to just tie that on the back, extending out the back of the fly here. Stoneflies are very active, and when they migrate and hatch out, they're migrating to the shoreline by crawling out, and so there's a lot of movement derived with those critters, and the trout know all about that. So lots of movement involved. Black and golden are the main colorations that you'll find. I'll show you some of my favorite options for that after I've got this guy tied up. So I've just got a medium black chenille. It's important to kind of strip the chenille off the center core to start this, so you don't start with a big clump at the back. So I've got my chenille tied in there, and then I'm going to put in some rubber legs. This is the most frustrating part about tying this fly, is these rubber legs are wiggling all over the place and a little bit of a pain in the neck. I'm going to tie in one on each side in about the mid portion, and I tie them on the sides, leave a gap, and then I'm also going to tie in another one towards the front here. And when I initially tie this in, I'm kind of pointing it out towards the front. These will kind of end up more along the sides eventually. The thing about these rubber legs is it really gives the fly a lot of motion, a lot of animation, and helps it, look more natural in the water. So it looks like an actual stonefly nymph that's struggling and moving along caught in the current. So I've got rubber legs on here. Now what I like to do is kind of get them all out of the way, kind of fold them forward. Just give a soft wrap here. That's not a permanent wrap. That's just a keeper, okay? And then start wrapping the chenille forward. Get up to that first rubber leg. I'm going to release those guys and then kind of put those in position. Your chenille can kind of help position those for you. A couple wraps here, and then move those slightly out of the way. Okay, so see how we've got the underbody helps create some bulk towards the front. I'm going to do a double wrap up front as well, helping that further. And then trim that chenille, there we go. And then these front ones, I can kind of push them around, kind of situate them how I want to. But what I like to do is fold those back and do a solid red thread head. I like the red. This is kind of a blood red. And I really put a big head on here on purpose because I think that just adds a good spot of color that fish can gravitate to. The other thing that I like to add is just a little bit of flash. And believe it or not, one of my favorite little bits of flash to add is purple angel hair. And this is just a really light, it's a really fine flash. If you haven't worked with this stuff, it's extremely fine and gets all over the place. But just a couple little strands along the side, just tie that in, and then I'll just trim that like so. So you've got just a little bit of added flash there. Maybe it's the steelheader in me, I don't know, but I love that purple. That combination actually works really good. Now I'm just gonna whip finish this and wrap that up. Drop a glue on there. And hit it with the light. Boom, ready to go. So that's a pattern that can be extremely effective for you when it comes to our spring trout fishing, anywhere there's stonefly nymphs. And I like tying it on this jig hook because that helps keep it from snagging up on the bottom. It's a pretty heavy fly. You got tungsten and lead. The lead wire underneath and the additional chenille kind of helps give it the profile you want. It's tapering larger towards the eye of the hook. So here's a couple other variations. You could do that without a tail, of course, still very deadly. That's just kind of